too distracted playing this game to actually sit down and review it. We're reviewing Torchlight II from Runic Games, released many, many years ago. Finally released under Linux.
Only on the
OGRE
Steams.
What? Yes. Yes. You can pick it up for $19.99, but until Monday, it is $5 wet, stinky bucks. So you should probably pick it up if you do not already have it. And much like any mystical hoopa-joop that we do every week, and much like all the mystical hoopa-joop that happens in Torchlight, it must face the chairs. 1 chair means that it's crap. 2 chairs means that it's meh. 3 chairs means that it's pretty good. 4 chairs means shut up, take my money. It's amazing. We also have our categories: Doom, Mix with the Working, Shiny Sounds, Controls, and Fun. So let's kick off this review. Then, did Torchlight 2 make with the working?
Over here, Brother Svang. It made with the working on a Ubuntu 1404 LTS octo-core 980 4K displayed box of business. It ran without issue. But I do have some issues that I'm just going to bitch about. But they're not bugs, they're features, clearly. I really do not like being able to not run in a windowed mode. You can run Windows full screen. But you can't do it in a window. And at 4K, sometimes I want to play, 1080p in a window in a corner while I'm doing some other stuff. Not really an option. Custom resolutions. Fuck you, because that's why. But again, I can't ding them a chair because that's not a bug. It doesn't say it can do that, and it's unable to. So, mix with the working 4 chairs.
On the Fedora 21 powered 64-bit AMD 1090T NVIDIA 670 Superclock business box by my foot, ran without issue. Smooth as it possibly could be under Linux. I played this on Windows back when it came out, and it ran exactly the same, so good on them. 4 cheers.
Yep. On the Amiga with the AMD FX 8370E and the GTX 970 Strix, it actually ran stupidly well. It was an OGRE game. Admittedly, I expected some issues, but we'll get to that.
I'll give you a true story. When I was reading the engine, I was like, Pedro, you got that wrong. There must be a typo. Who would use the OGRE? Oh, God, he's right.
Yeah. But, yeah. On the Steam machine, well, the unofficial Steam machine with the AMD 860K at 4 gigahertz and GeForce GTX 750 Ti, it also ran stupidly well. Really, no complaints. It's running SteamOS on that one and Corora 2164-bit on this Amiga of a machine. So 4 cheers for me.
All right, so that's 4 cheers for Mike with the Working. Shiny Sounds, go!
Boom! OGRE, the engine whose last stable update release was 2013. And you know what? I hate to say this, but it does show. Even with everything on 11, it looks dated. Not bad. Just dated. The soundtrack, sound effects, this is the team that created, what was it, Pedro? Diablo 1, Diablo 2?
Diablo 1 and Diablo 2, yep.
It completely shows. I mean, that is a pleasure to put inside of your ear pussies. I did enjoy that. And again, they're not bad. I mean, it's well done. The art's well done. Everything's well done. But you can clearly see, it's like, oh, like, if you look at something like, yeah, that's Unity. I looked at that, I was like, yeah, that's OGRE. So, they did a fantastic job considering the engine that they chose to work with. I'm going to give that 3 cheers for the shiny and the sounds, J-Man.
Yeah, you can't really fault the game for looking old considering the game is at least 3 years old now, so...
there was one small thing I wanted to ding it a chair for because I was confused about all the characters having heads.
Oh, yes. Of course. Well, there's no need to lose your head about that, then. Anyways. Yeah. One thing I really noticed about this game is that if you leave the audio on for too long, it really does sound like Diablo 2, which makes sense because they have the guy who did their OST for Diablo
Mr.
on the Torchlight team. Yes, but I don't know. It kind of bugged me because I'm playing Torchlight. I'm not playing Diablo. I don't want to hear Diablo music. I want to hear a new take. But that's not really anything to ding any chairs about. The frame rate is a bit inconsistent. You'll get like 75 frames a second on the loading screens and like 40 frames a second on the menu, and varying between 50 and 60 frames a second in actual gameplay. Again, didn't really bother me all that much. The game looks great for what it is. It sounds great for what it is. 3 cheers.
To reiterate what Jordan said, the frame rate is all over the place. I had the Steam overlay with the FERPs showing at the corner, and with everything turned up to 11 on the 970, in the main menu, it was locked at 56 FPS. Regardless of the settings, whatever I did, 56 FPS is as high as it'll go. On the character selection screen, it goes up to 221. Good times. And then you get in game, and it wavers somewhere around 40 to 70. It gets down to around 30 if there's like a shit ton of enemies on screen, but it's not unplayable by any stretch of the imagination. Disabling Bloom, I found, actually makes the game much more stable FERPs-wise. It keeps everything constant at around 70, 75-ish. So keep that in mind. Also, and again, like Ven and Jordan already mentioned, it is Mr. Matt Wellman on the original soundtrack for this game, and I am a big fan. I love his musical scores, and that alone is enough for me to forgive the frame rate inconsistencies and give it 4 chairs.
All right, so that's 3 chairs for our shiny sounds. Controls, Ven.
This gets interesting, Jaden. Oh, it does.
It begins.
Oh, so it begins. I've never had the pleasure of playing the Diablo series. This boiled down to, I started the game, immediately put my hand organ on the keyboard organ, like wazzed. I was like, what's going on here? Can't do that. All right. Escape. Let's see. What's going on? Control set. It's like, oh shit. Oh, right. Oh, this is that game like Torchlight. Mouse Abuser 2015. That's what we have right here.
Click,
I love the sound of my mouse clicking 50 times a second, said no fucking one, especially me. Click, 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 click. Press I, inventory, possibly space, maybe move over here, set with your pet organ, play something like click, 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 click. It's abuse on your gerbil. Why can't I? You got an enemy going on. Okay, right click on you. Go take care of it. Do the thing. I thought that was something we had fixed billions of years ago in the future's past. But no, you do that, runs up. Now click more. Fine. Okay. What I'm saying about the controls, they work for what they are. They work perfectly for something like, after listening to P-Man and J-Man, it's like, this is how it's supposed to fucking work, all right? And it's like, okay, then I guess they work. But what I don't like is controls that actually cause me to think about the amount of damage I'm doing to my fucking gerbil. And the same reason, when I built Turbo Jetta, I put it on a dyno once. Because I don't like abusing things and causing it. And it's not like I have a super cheap gerbil. These things are running us like 60 or 70 quid. This is the YOLO EP and Extender 9000 Curbotron. So
it's the Kerbo Talk Smasher.
I'm going to give it 2, not because the controls are busted. It's just, I don't like that. This seems like it would be perfectly fucking playable with a controller organ or Waz keys, which really, there's no way to do that. I tried. All right, J-Man.
I don't know. Going back to your whole thing about the using a controller for this, the only game kind of like this out there on Linux is Forced. And the controls on that weren't the best. Apparently, Diablo 3 on the PlayStation. Apparently, Diablo 3 on the PlayStation figured out ARPG controls for like a DualShock controller. So I haven't played that. I'm interested to see what they might have done. But for me, it's always I was a big fan of Diablo 1, big fan of Diablo 2, Diablo 3. But I played all those games, and I mean this takes the standard ARPG fare. And it's very solid. You click on the things so you can click on more things. And sometimes you press keyboard buttons to click on other things. 4 chairs.
Yeah, this really put the Rocat Kova to the test, and so far it has withstood it for the
I'm just
6
laughing
hours or
because
so.
looking at the hours you two have logged in this game, both of you will be buying new gerbils in the next month.
Maybe, hopefully not, but so far it hasn't complained and everything still works. But Torchlight 2 has the exact same problem that the first Torchlight had, at least on Linux. I honestly can't remember on Windows. If the screen fills up with too many enemies, you can't reliably click to move away from the mob, and that'll actually get you killed every now and again.
No,
That
that
aside,
just means
like-
you suck at Torchlight.
Hmm?
That just means you suck at Torchlight, by the way.
No, I'll actually back him up. When I was
Probably.
playing the game at 4K resolution, that what is it, the arrow thingy, it gets lost quick.
Yeah, it gets lost in the confusion, but that aside, you click on things and things react appropriately, and actually listening to the mouse clicking repeatedly sort of gave me nostalgia back for when I used to play Diablo and Diablo 2 long ago. So for me, it gets 3 chairs because, again, you can't reliably move away and you'll end up dying.
All right. Well, despite the fact that some people may be better or worse at Torchlight, 3 cheers for controls. Finally, we have our subjective category. Fun. Ben, did you have fun?
Did I have fun? Okay. Here's the thing. Installed this. Okay. I'm going to try this. I remember Torchlight. Not exactly my cup of chainsaw. 40 minutes later, I realize, wow, okay, time to take a break. That's hella rare. And for something like this, I've never really experienced a game like this outside of Torchlight 1, which I found kind of odd with the missing heads. I really like the game, but I really hate the controls. So I'm just going to be perfectly honest about that. I kind of wish they were done a different way. I don't have the nostalgia that you lot have. Chat Realms pointed out that, Diablo 1 came out in 96. I was on Linux full-time in 95, and Wine was kind of like, we can run Notepad during those days. So, one thing I've kind of gotten a little more irritated about, because I even noticed during that initial 40 minutes of like time vampirism, it went from hack and slash kill to inventory simulator 2015. And I was like, and it got me. I'm not saying that as a con, because it's like, oh, well, if I put this gem in this and I swap this out with not playing the game, it doesn't pause when you're doing that. You absolutely get killed to death when you're like, well, maybe I'll move this. Oh, look, and you run around and do all that. You might want to play the game on hard, because normal seemed like it was meant for people who have glue sticks in their mouth and don't really want to pull them out and do any of that. Even I'm saying, because I started playing on normal, and after a few quests, I stockpiled so much health and mana. I was just running at everything, screaming yellow swag Dorito. I don't care. 1, 2, 1, 2. Keep on hitting me. I don't care. I got 50. Bring it. Click, 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 click. And that's just made even easier, because the baddies effectively just shite items everywhere. It's like, you spend more time. Me and J-Bad, and you can find a players of this, and you'll see the footage of us playing this during the review. In the finished review, outside of the live show, it's everywhere. It's like you kill like one mini overlord type business, and it's like, oh man, all right. Then Jordan's like, hey, let's go over the entire fucking level and pick up anything we missed. I was like, God damn it. Multiplayer works as expected, except if you don't have an account, Brad, you got to create an account. And that kind of like, oh, I'm already in Steam. Now I got to go fucking WebZone and create this one-time account.
DRM.
But it is cross-platform multiplayer, and it worked as expected. We had a pretty easy time after I set up my account and did all that business. So at the end of the day, take that shot and check out these 3 chairs I have for Brad, J-Man.
Oh, I'm a hardcore Torchlight fanboy. I'm fully cop to that. It really does take the best parts of the Diablo series and refines them into something very, very solid that I have a great time playing. this thing is like hardcore time vampire. In between recording segments, I'm playing Torchlight.
Yep.
The only other game they saw me doing that with is FTL, which is another time vampire.
Which went on for a year.
Yes. But yeah, this game's fun. It also has a good sense of humor about it. What do you call it? I had to find a bottle of lotion, put it in a basket, and I got Buffalo Bill's mask made out of human faces. It's fantastic.
Carl.
Cross-platform multiplayer works. I was playing that with my roommate on his Windows install earlier today. So, I mean, altogether, it's a solid port. The game is fun as shit.
Can I interject for just one thing before you say
What's that?
You played this when you were still a filthy dual-booting heathen.
I did.
How did that Windows save transfer?
It didn't. Oh, yes, it did not. And that made me very, very sad. Because I had my high-level engineer that I had worked so hard on that disappeared. So I scrapped that and created an Outlander. What did you guys play?
I played as a berserker.
I
Would you
got
like
an
to make
information.
buck?
Yes.
Yeah,
Alright,
it's
well-
good. It is a very, very, very good game. It's a freaking time vampires. Like, oh, let's play just a quest, just the one. Oh, I'm almost at level up. Let's just level up. Oh, I started a new quest. I'll just finish this. Oh, I got 2 items of this set. Let's see if I can find the third one. Oh, yeah, I got it, but I'm almost at level up again. It's very hard to put it down. It's exactly what Diablo 3 should have been hadn't Blizzard fired most of these people. So, yeah, like Ven already mentioned earlier in the review, this is made by 90% of the team that made the first and second Diablo games. It is good. They have refined the genre. Basically, Diablo defined this genre, and they have refined it. And for me, Torchlight 2 comes very, very close to being the perfect hack and slash RPG type thing. 4 chairs for me.
All right, that's 3 chairs for fun, and if we tally all this crap up, we get 3 chairs for Torchlight 2.
Very solid.
Ooh.
3 chairs.
Yes. It's on sale now for $4.99, so pick that shit up
That's
right
what
now.
I'm saying. If you've got to say a final thought about this, considering this thing goes on sale more often than your mum,
Yeah.
that's what J-Man said. Give it a buy.
You will at least dump like 2 or 3 hours in this game. It's really easy to do.
Unless you really hate hack and slash or action RPGs type games, you're gonna love this. It is very, very good. And it's freaking cheap. I mean, $4. Just get it now.